Uh-oh, folks. Would you look what we have here? Would you look at what we have here? We got Sabrina Ionescu, far left. Look at those back muscles. All right, Sabrina, do your thing. We got Erin Kane. Oh, doing her Stephanie White pose. Oh, wow. Okay. Erin Kane doing the Stephanie White. Nice. We got Brianna Stewart, Stewie, as they call her. And we got Sandy Brondello.
The WNBA is no stranger to drama, but what unfolded after a recent game at Barclays Center between the Indiana Fever and the New York Liberty sent shockwaves through the basketball world. A single photograph, shared across social media platforms like wildfire, captured a moment that has Indiana Fever fans clutching their pearls and New York Liberty fans dreaming of championship banners. In the image, CaitlinClark, the generational superstar and the Fever's brightest hope, stood in what appeared to be a serious conversation with her agent, Erin Kane, alongside New York Liberty head coach Sandy Brondello and star players Brianna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu. This wasn't a casual post-game chat or a friendly meet and greet. The presence of Clark's agent signaled something far more significant, a discussion about her future, potentially beyond her rookie contract with the Fever, which expires.
Scene that took place after the Fever game last night in New York between Sandy Brondello and CaitlinClark, the New York Liberty, and the agent. The agent. That is what makes this so interesting. That is the key. All right? Everybody's concentrating on, by the way, CaitlinClark looks unbelievably happy talking to these folks.
Fever, which expires in 2028. This moment wasn't just a photo op. It was a warning shot fired across the bow of the Indiana Fever's front office. The image, coupled with the Fever's abysmal performance without Clark on the court, has sparked a firestorm of speculation. Is Clark already looking for the exit door? Has Indiana's mismanagement of their superstar pushed her to consider a future with a franchise like the Liberty, which seems tailor-made to maximize her talents? For Fever fans, this is the stuff of nightmares. For Liberty fans, it's a tantalizing glimpse of a dynasty in the making. Let's dive into the details of this seismic event, the game that exposed Indiana's vulnerabilities, and why this secret meeting could reshape the future of women's basketball. The game that exposed Indiana's fragility. The stage was set at Barclays Center, where the Indiana Fever faced off against the New York Liberty in a game that would reveal just how dependent the Fever are on CaitlinClark. Without their star point guard, who was sidelined due to an injury,
we could have been more consistent, and it's just disappointing. I mean, that wasn't us. That's not how we play, and that's not our identity. But I just think, again, it's about us and stacking days. So, I mean, we see him again after All-Star, so we just got to go back to the drawing boards and just, make the adjustments and just be better.
The Fever's performance was nothing short of catastrophic. From the opening tip, it was clear that something was terribly wrong. The Fever's offense, typically a dynamic, fast-paced unit when Clark is on the court, looked disjointed and aimless. Players stood around waiting for anyone to create a spark. Plays fizzled out before they could gain traction, and the team's chemistry, so often ignited by Clark's vision and playmaking, was nowhere to be found. The numbers told a grim story. The Liberty shot an astonishing 9% from beyond the arc, raining threes with precision and confidence.
Be better.
Meanwhile, the Fever...
Mitchell, she'll pull up. Here's a three. She's got it! And that's a record! Kelsey Mitchell with 9 threes in a game. It's never been done before.
Mitchell is so cracksy.
Don't dare, Kelsey Mitchell. Smooth as butter. Silky.
Here's Mitchell. Mitchell collects. Mitchell. You bet! And the foul! Mitchell flashes home a three.
Talk, step back, launches a three. It's good! Kelsey Mitchell has now hit 607 threes and counting. The most ever for an Indiana Fever player.
Hey, Kels, just wanted to say congratulations. As always, I'm super proud of you. And yet another record broken. Of course, this is just the beginning. Keep it going. Records are meant to be broken, but if there's anybody that would break it, I'm glad that it's you. So congratulations. I love you. I'm super proud of you. And let's go, Fever. Get that dub.
Meanwhile, the Fever managed a paltry 25% from three-point range, a stark reflection of their inability to generate quality looks without Clark orchestrating the offense. The final score, 98-77 in favor of New York, didn't fully capture the extent of the beatdown. Amid the chaos, one player stood out for her relentless effort, Kelsey Mitchell. The Fever's veteran guard put on a clinic, doing everything in her power to keep Indiana in the game. Mitchell broke the franchise record for career three-pointers, sinking her 607th triple to etch her name in the Fever's history books. She finished the game with 16 points, showcasing her ability to create shots under pressure and reminding
everyone. Started with us just being really soft. They didn't feel us. They're an outstanding offensive team. They're obviously an outstanding defensive team too. And we didn't disrupt at all. They didn't feel us. There was no resistance. We weren't in passing lanes. We let them pass the ball and move wherever they wanted to. So it's outside of just execution of schemes. It's having a little bit more fight and resistance on the defensive
pressure
end.
And reminding everyone why she's an all-star caliber talent. Mitchell's performance was a masterclass in grit and determination. She slashed to the basket, knocked down contested jumpers, and fought through defensive schemes designed to slow her down. Her step-back threes were a thing of beauty, each one a fleeting moment of hope for a Fever team that was otherwise drowning. But even Mitchell's heroics couldn't mask the larger issue. She was carrying an offensive load meant for a team, not a single player. The frustration was evident on her face as she battled against a Liberty defense that knew exactly how to exploit Indiana's weaknesses. Without Clark to draw attention and create open looks, Mitchell was forced to do too much, and it simply wasn't enough. Normally a force in the paint, Boston managed just 7 points on a woeful 1-for-8 shooting performance.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And I hope Indiana Fever fans are taking note, writing things down, following a certain pattern, and this time aren't getting fooled. The Indiana Fever ruled CaitlinClark out for tonight's game. No surprise to anybody. I saw it, you saw it, your neighbor saw it, Stevie Wonder saw that. Another leg injury. She has a quad, we rush her back, she injures her quad. We rush her back, she injures her groin, we rush her back, we injure her quad. Nice, good job. No way CaitlinClark was going to play tonight. But the Indiana Fever, they decided to lie again about CaitlinClark's status. Again, to milk the fans dry for as much as they possibly can. Again.
The Liberty's defense collapsed on her every drive, daring her to pass out to teammates who couldn't capitalize. Without Clark's ability to stretch defenses and create space, Boston was neutralized, her impact reduced to a shadow of her usual dominance. This game highlighted how much Boston, and the entire Fever roster, depends on Clark's playmaking to unlock their potential. Arie McDonald, filling in at point guard, tried to spark the offense but couldn't replicate Clark's impact. The lineup change meant to compensate for Clark's absence only underscored the Fever's lack of depth and identity without their superstar. The Liberty, by contrast, played with a cohesion and confidence that comes from a well-constructed roster and a clear game plan. They knew exactly how to exploit Indiana's weaknesses, and they did so with ruthless efficiency. The injury mismanagement that fueled the fire. If the Fever...
We got Sabrina, we got the agent, we got Stewie, we got CaitlinClark looking like I ain't seen her this happy all year. Right here. I ain't seen her. And look at Sandy. Sandy's grinning with her hand on Caitlin's shoulder. I mean...
Now we get to the part that has Indiana fans losing sleep and New York fans dreaming about more championship banners. A photo went viral on social media that showed something nobody expected to see. CaitlinClark, her agent Aaron Kane, and New York Liberty representatives standing together in what looked like a very serious conversation.
If the Fever's on-court performance was a disaster, their handling of CaitlinClark's injury was nothing short of catastrophic. When a franchise player goes down, the front office's response reveals everything about their priorities and competence. In this case, Indiana's approach was so mishandled that it raised serious questions about their ability to protect their most valuable asset. The saga began with vague updates about Clark's condition, a pattern that has become all too familiar for Fever fans. Head coach Stephanie White's pregame comments didn't help. When asked about Clark's status, she offered the same tired phrase she'd used earlier in the season. "We're taking it one day at a time." This lack of transparency fueled speculation and frustration, leaving fans and analysts in the dark about the severity of Clark's injury. Was it a minor tweak or something more serious? The Fever's refusal to provide clear timelines only amplified the uncertainty.
And I saw some people say, well, maybe they're talking All-Star game. Why is her agent there? That is the key. All right, that's the key. Her agent's involved? Some representative is involved? That's what you... they're talking strategy. How many strategy conversations have agents involved in them? Seriously.
Creating a perception of incompetence that has dogged the organization all season. The injury itself, a reported issue with Clark's quad or groin, depending on which report you believe, was the latest in a string of health concerns. Clark has already missed 10 games this season due to various ailments, and each time, the Fever's medical staff and front office have been criticized for rushing her back too soon. Fans pointed to a troubling pattern. An injury would sideline Clark, the team would provide vague updates, and she'd return only to aggravate the issue. "Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me," one fan tweeted, encapsulating the growing distrust in Indiana's handling of their star. The timing of this latest injury couldn't have been worse. With the WNBA All-Star Game looming, a flagship event that relies heavily on Clark's star power for visibility, the Fever's mismanagement became a league-wide talking point. Instead of showcasing their biggest draw, the WNBA was left scrambling to explain why Clark might miss the game. The lack of clarity from Indiana's front office didn't just frustrate fans. It embarrassed the league and raised questions about whether the Fever are equipped to handle a player of Clark's magnitude. The philosophical clash. A system that stifles Clark's brilliance. Beyond the injury mismanagement, a deeper issue lies at the heart of Indiana's struggles. A philosophical mismatch between Clark's playing style and the coaching staff's vision. CaitlinClark is a once-in-a-generation talent, a point guard whose greatest strengths lie in her ability to push the pace, create chaos, and make split-second decisions that turn defenses inside out. Her basketball IQ, vision, and passing ability allow her to orchestrate an offense that thrives in transition, generating open looks for teammates and exploiting mismatches before defenses can set up. Yet, under Stephanie White's leadership, the Fever have tried to force Clark into a slow, methodical system that neutralizes her strengths. Instead of letting her run the show and play at the frenetic pace that makes her special, the coaching staff insists on walking the ball up the court and running half-court sets that stifle her creativity. It's a baffling decision, akin to buying a Ferrari and then refusing to take it out of first gear. Clark's ability to create offense out of nothing, whether through a pinpoint pass or a pull-up three, is wasted when she's asked to slow down and wait for plays to develop. This clash in styles has created a palpable sense of frustration for Clark. You can see it in her body language, in the way she reacts when plays break down, and in the moments when she's forced to defer to a system that doesn't suit her. The Fever's insistence on playing at a deliberate pace not only limits Clark's scoring, but also diminishes her ability to elevate her teammates. Players like Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell thrive when Clark is allowed to push the tempo, creating space and opportunities that make the entire offense hum. When the pace slows, the Fever become predictable, and their lack of depth is exposed. The contrast with the New York Liberty couldn't be starker. Under Sandy Brondello, the Liberty play a fast-paced, high-scoring brand of basketball that emphasizes ball movement and three-point shooting. It's a system that would amplify everything Clark does best, allowing her to operate in transition and exploit her vision and playmaking. The Liberty's roster, built around all-stars like Breanna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu, is designed to maximize elite talent, not constrain it. For a player like Clark, who thrives on freedom and creativity, New York represents a basketball utopia, a place where her skills could be fully unleashed. The secret meeting, a glimpse into Clark's future? Now let's get to the moment that has everyone talking. The secret meeting that took place after the Fever's loss to the Liberty. The viral photo showed CaitlinClark, her agent Erin Kane, Sandy Brondello, Breanna Stewart, and Sabrina Ionescu engaged in what appeared to be a serious discussion. This wasn't a casual post-game chat or a friendly exchange of pleasantries. The presence of Clark's agent was the key detail that set this moment apart. When an agent is involved, it's not about autographs or small talk, it's about business. Speculation ran rampant about the nature of the conversation. Some dismissed it as a harmless meet and greet, perhaps related to All-Star Game logistics. But the involvement of Aaron Cain suggests otherwise. Agents don't typically attend casual conversations. They show up when the discussion involves contracts, endorsements, or in this case, a player's long-term future. The photo, taken in the aftermath of Indiana's embarrassing loss and amid ongoing frustration with the Fever's handling of Clark's injury, painted a picture of a player who might be exploring her options. The timing of the meeting is telling. It came right after a game that exposed Indiana's vulnerabilities and highlighted the stark contrast between the two organizations. The Liberty, with their competent front office, winning culture, and star-studded roster, represent everything the Fever are not. Breanna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu are proven winners who understand what it takes to compete at the highest level. Sandy Brondello, a coach with a track record of success, has already expressed admiration for Clark's game, offering the kind of support and vision that Clark hasn't always felt in Indiana. The Liberty's playing style is another major factor. Unlike the Fever's slow plodding approach, New York plays at a pace that would allow Clark to thrive. Their offense is built on quick transitions, aggressive ball movement, and a willingness to let their best players take over. Imagine Clark running the point in a system that encourages her to push the tempo, find open shooters, and create chaos for opposing defenses. It's the kind of environment where she could elevate her game to new heights, surrounded by players like Stewart and Ionescu, who complement her skills perfectly. The presence of Aaron Cain in the photo suggests that this wasn't a hypothetical discussion about what if. It was a strategic conversation about Clark's future, potentially laying the groundwork for a move when her rookie contract expires in 2028. While the Fever hold control over Clark through 2026, the end of her rookie deal will give her the freedom to choose an organization that aligns with her vision and maximizes her potential. The Liberty, with their cap space, winning culture, and organizational competence, are positioning themselves as the ideal destination. Indiana's ticking clock. For Indiana Fever fans, the secret meeting is a wake-up call. The organization's window to repair its relationship with Clark is closing fast, and every misstep brings her closer to the exit door. The Fever's front office has made a series of decisions that seem almost designed to alienate their superstar. From the mishandling of her injuries to the insistence on a playing style that stifles her strengths, Indiana has shown a remarkable lack of vision for how to build around a generational talent. The psychological impact of playing in a dysfunctional system cannot be overstated. Clark is a competitor who thrives on winning and making her teammates better. When she's forced to operate in a system that fights against her natural game, it's not just frustrating, it's demoralizing. The Fever's inability to construct a roster that complements her skills, combined with their poor injury management, has created a perfect storm of discontent. Clark can see what she's capable of when given the freedom to play her way, and she can also see how much the team struggles when that freedom is taken away. The contrast between Indiana and New York is stark. The Liberty have built a roster that maximizes their stars' abilities, with players like Jonquel Jones, expected to return after the All-Star break, and Maureen Johannes providing depth and versatility. Their front office understands how to construct a championship-caliber team, and their coaching staff knows how to put players in positions to succeed. Indiana, on the other hand, seems to be in over its head, unable to capitalize on the biggest star in women's basketball. CaitlinClark isn't just a player, she's a phenomenon. Her arrival in the WNBA has brought unprecedented attention to the league, with millions of viewers tuning in to watch her games. Her ability to fill arenas, drive TV ratings, and generate social media buzz has made her the face of women's basketball. But with great power comes great responsibility. And the Fever's mishandling of Clark threatens to squander the opportunity she represents. The WNBA has long struggled to achieve the same level of mainstream attention as the NBA, but Clark's star power has changed the equation. She's not just a basketball player, she's a cultural force, drawing comparisons to legends like Larry Bird and Stephen Curry. Her ability to hit logo threes, thread impossible passes, and carry her team in clutch moments has made her a must-watch talent. For the Fever to fumble her development through poor coaching decisions, injury mismanagement, or a lack of roster support is not just a failure for the franchise, but a missed opportunity for the entire league. The All-Star Game controversy only adds fuel to the fire. With Clark potentially sidelined, the WNBA risks losing the spotlight that comes with showcasing its biggest star. The league's leadership must be watching Indiana's missteps with growing concern, knowing that Clark's success is tied to the WNBA's broader growth. If the Fever can't figure out how to build around her, another team, like the Liberty, will gladly step in to reap the benefits. What's next for CaitlinClark? The secret meeting with the New York Liberty is a clear signal that Clark is thinking about her future. While she's locked into her rookie contract through 2026, the 2028 offseason looms large. That's when she'll have the freedom to choose her next destination, and the Liberty are making a strong case to be that destination. Their roster, coaching, and organizational competence offer a stark contrast to Indiana's chaos, and the prospect of Clark joining forces with Stewart and Ionescu is enough to make any basketball fan salivate. For Indiana, the path forward is clear but daunting. They need to overhaul their approach, starting with a coaching staff that understands how to maximize Clark's talents. A fast-paced, transition-oriented system would unlock her potential and make the Fever a contender. They also need to address their injury management protocols, providing clear communication and prioritizing Clark's long-term health. Finally, the front office must build a roster that complements her skills, adding shooters and defenders who can keep up with her pace. If the Fever can't make these changes, they risk losing Clark to a team like the Liberty, who are ready and waiting to welcome her with open arms. The photo of Clark, her agent, and the Liberty's representatives isn't just a moment in time. It's a glimpse into a future where Clark could become the centerpiece of a dynasty in New York. For Fever fans, the message is clear. Free Caitlin. The clock is ticking, and Indiana's time to get it right is running out. Agent. And the New York Liberty has sent shockwaves through the WNBA, exposing the fault lines in Indiana's organization and hinting at a future where Clark could take her talents elsewhere. The Fever's loss to the Liberty was more than just a bad game. It was a stark reminder of how much they rely on Clark and how little they've done to support her. From injury mismanagement to a coaching philosophy that stifles her brilliance, Indiana has made one misstep after another, pushing their superstar closer to the exit door. Meanwhile, the Liberty represent everything the Fever are not: a competent front office, a winning culture, and a playing style that would unleash Clark's full potential. The presence of her agent in that viral photo suggests that Clark is already looking ahead to 2028, when she'll have the freedom to choose her future. For now, Fever fans can only hope that their team wakes up before it's too late. If they don't, the biggest star in women's basketball might just find a new home in New York and take the WNBA by storm in the process. What do you think? Should Clark stick with Indiana and hope they figure it out? Or is it time for her to find an organization that truly deserves her talents? The future of the WNBA may just depend on the answer.
Whatever Clark wants, Clark will get when it comes to New York. Maybe not in Indiana, with Kelly and Amber and Stephanie, but in New York? I guarantee you, if they were to ask Sandy Brondello that question, the answers might have been different. They would have championed CaitlinClark without feeling the need to throw everybody else's name in the mix.